Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to a PlayStation 4 Beginner's Guide. Now I haven't done one of these for a while. I don't generally have time these days to put so much time into a game that I can give you a gaming guide. However, this game, Spacebase Startopia, which I've just reviewed on the channel, I found it a little bit hard to get to grips with in the early stages of the game, and I'm conscious that there may be some of you out there that wants to try this game who may not be used to playing these type of management games and may be a little bit lost when you start the game. So hopefully this is going to be a beginner's guide from the perspective of someone putting the game on for the very first time and wanting to start the game, and hopefully this will give you some helpful tips and tricks and hints to get you used to playing the game. So I do hope you find this guide useful. Right, so I'm doing this beginner's guide in the free play mode, and I suggest you probably do the same if you want to learn the game. It allows you to customize the game however you want to make it as easy as you want, and I would suggest using the settings that I've given you in the top right hand side. Just you, don't put any bots in the game so you don't have any other potential challenges that's going to interfere with your game. You're just learning how to play the game basically, and then once you get into the game, this is the first thing you're going to see. This is your main deck. Here you've got 3 decks, as you can see there on the left hand side. If you press left 1 and square, it brings you to the build menu, your construction menu as they call it. Okay, you've got some options here to build, very limited at first. If you press up on the D-pad, up and down on the D-pad takes you to your different decks. This is the fun deck. This is the biome where you do lots of planting and things. We'll get into more of these later. So back to your main deck. Press left 1 and square to go to the construction menu and build a berth. Usually go for the middle one. It's a reasonable size. Position it where you want. You can adjust what you put in there if you want by using this button here that I've highlighted there. You can take things out if you want, if you don't want it to be as full as that. But if it's one of the blueprints, it's usually set up pretty nicely, so just confirm it, and there you go. That will get built by the robots, the fuzzies as they're called. The yellow robots you can see there will go over and build this for you. You need a berth, and it's a place where your customers that visit your space station will go. It's got like life pods in it and all sorts of different things, food areas, you name it. And it's one of the most important things you're going to need, because it's like the main hub for your customers to go when they arrive on the space station. Right, the next thing you're going to need to build is the charging station for your robots, your fuzzies as they're called. So by that, position it where you want, and again they will build that. And it allows the fuzzies to remain charged when they start running out of charge. This is your airlock, that's where your customers come in. That's your tube lift that takes you to different sections in your space station. That's your energy core. You can see all the customers arriving and they're going straight to the berth, mainly because that's all you've got. Now the research section, you need to press right 1 and X to get to your research. Okay, there's only a certain amount of things you can unlock initially, and that's because you need like, if you like, research points, which are like the purple things there in the top middle. As you can see there, I've just unlocked the atmosphere thing. So you go into the build menu and put these in. You put these where it's lights up red essentially on your maps, so that it's going to cover the atmosphere in all the areas, and as your base expands you're going to need more of them to make sure that the atmosphere is fine for all your customers. So they will go ahead and build that. Go back to your research, right one and X, and unlock more things. You've got a garbage bot, communications center. So I've unlocked those now. And like I say, the purple points there you can see in the middle. As they increase, you'll be able to unlock more. Open bulkheads if you've got the money by clicking on the square button to open more bulkheads to give you more space to build. See, you've got more space to build now by opening this bulkhead. Communication center. These are important because it will let people know that you're out there, and they will come and visit you. More people will come and visit you. Now, this game isn't for everyone in the sense of it's quite slow paced. Now, I personally like that in games like this because I find them relaxing and fairly chilled out. I like the pace of this game. Now, what you're going to need to do here is employ people. Employing people to work in certain sections is very, very important. So you press left one and triangle, and then you look through you can see there the aliens, and it gives you an explanation, if you can see right there, as to who is best placed to work where. And then I would suggest employing about 4 or 5 people, yeah, because they're not always working there all the time, so you need some spares when they're having breaks and things like that. You can see there, look, them 4 slots there is where they will go to work. I'm just changing it round. I want it to, you can edit it on the menu and just shift it about if it's not just positioned exactly how you want it. There you go, you see. So just double checking that there are people employed there, and they are indeed employed. Right, this menu here, the triangle menu. If you want to look at all these stats and things like that, your units, your construction menu, research and things, you can do all that, but they're easy enough to get to by pressing the left one, square, triangle, etc, etc. The Val Shop at the bottom of that menu is where you can go to buy some extra things, and if you can see at the top there, it changes, and every, like, you know, minute or so there will be better options or more different options for you to purchase if you want. Right, next, again, left one, square, construction menu, and once you've unlocked the garbage bot, the research thing, by pressing right one and X, place your garbage bots. Now your garbage bots are important because that's where people put the garbage, and then when they are full, once you have a recycling centre, which we will have shortly, then that's when you know it will start earning you money, because the garbage bot will immediately empty all the garbage into the recycling centre. Again, going to research, right one X, and then with the points that you've accrued, unlock what you can. Medical station is important to put up next, so again, left one and square. Use the middle option on the blueprint, or you can build your own if you want, but these are much, especially when you're learning the game, these are much easier to use, the blueprints that are already made in the game. You're going to need a medical centre for the customers, because they will either fall ill while they're on your space station, or they will arrive with an illness. There we go. So we've got a medical station so that your customers can be treated when they arrive at the space station, or if they fall ill while they are at the space station. So they're going to build that, and we shall come back shortly onto the next thing. You will need, obviously, to employ people to work in your medical centre. Again, look down at the list to see who is best equipped to work in the medical centre. It does explain it and tell you. And again, employ about 4 or 5 people to work in your medical centre. That's the biggest thing, biggest tip. One of the biggest tips I can give you early on is make sure you employ people to work in the things that you build. So you do that with the left one on the triangle button, and then making sure the people are compatible with the places you're employing them to. Recycle station. I shall show you how to do the recycling station next. As you can see here, it is just there on the left. Recycle station. There we go. We're coming over to build that, and again you're going to need people to work in your recycling station, so move down, find the alien that is best suited to work, move across, employ about 4 or 5 people to work in there. Now we're starting to get the bones of the space station built, essentially. These vermin here, if you just go over them and click the X button, it will zap them and get rid of them. Your bots and things will eventually get round to it, but it helps reduce disease and things if you see any of these vermin. Just to get rid of them yourself, it's nice and easy to do. As you can see, yeah, you want to have a nice tidy space station. So we'll have another look in the Val Shop. Okay, as you can see at the top there, it's about to change over in 6, 5, 4, 3, so we're going to get some new options shortly. Let's have a look in the shop, and it hasn't changed much, but it does give you certain options to buy if you have the money or the resources. Essentially, you know, like the purple, I call them the purple points, or the energy points for you to buy things in the Val Shop. So we're back in the research menu now. Right one and square, right one and X. You can open up the new sections if you've got enough purple points. So we're in the migrant workers section here. We've got a couple of options. We've got the battery farm, and we have the space disco. We're going to unlock the space disco, and then we're going to go to the fun deck, which is up on the D-pad. Takes you to your fun deck, and then we're going to place a space disco. Choose whichever size you want. I'm going to go for a big one this time. We've got enough money, we've got plenty of cash. Position it wherever you want. There we go. I think that'll do. It shows you where the doors are going to be with the yellow arrow. And you can edit it how you want, if you want to remove things, that sort of thing. Generally speaking, like I've said before, the blueprints are usually fine. Garbage bots, again, put at least one garbage bot down. They're important. Keeps your space station tidy. And an atmosphere filter. They look slightly different on this level, but they do the same job as the other one. And even though there's no red parts of this deck yet, there will be as you add more things and more customers turn up. It's going to make the air more difficult to breathe, so you need to add your atmosphere filters in. Those are important to remember. So your fuzzies, I've now built the space disco. As you can see there, they're going to go in and build the stuff on the inside too. As you can see, they're heading down to the entrance, and they're going to build the rest of the space disco. Right, you're going to need to employ people to work in your space disco, so again, left one triangle and find the alien that is best suited to work on the fun deck. And it gives you the information in the text, and then go across and employ 4 or 5 people to work in your fun deck. Maybe even 6, as I did there. So that's your disco up and running. You can see the purple points starting to add up now. It's going to allow us to unlock more things. I've just unlocked the cargo hold there. We'll unlock this section here, and as more purple points build up, we'll be able to unlock more things. Don't worry about the combat and the sabotage stuff. We're not going to worry too much about that in this tutorial. This is just the basics tutorial to get you up and running. Right, let's go back to the main deck. And I think, what can we build here now? We have got the cargo hold. There we go. Let's build the cargo hold. This is where you store things from things that have been made or harvested in your biome or made in your factory. However, we haven't unlocked the factory yet, which we will be doing that shortly when we've got enough research points, or purple points as I like to call them. Yeah, see that it's starting to take shape now, the space station. Get rid of these vermin just by clicking on them with the X button, and we have a cargo hold there now. There's not an awful lot we can put in the cargo hold yet, but it won't take long to be able to figure out how to do that. We've got a couple more options to unlock down in the package travelers section, I believe it's called. We'll have a look what they are in a second. The cafe. Oh yes, so we'll unlock the cafe first, and we need to go back to the fun deck. The disco's up and running, everybody's having a good time. Let's build a cafe next. Again, choose whatever size you want. You see there, it's just not going to be big enough, so press square and open up a new section. If you've got enough cash, which we have, as you can see there, plenty of cash. We've opened up a new section, we've got a bit more space to build in now, and we can build the cafe that we want. Again, I'm going to build a big one. Position it however you want. Remember, the yellow lines indicate where the doors are. Edit it if you wish to. And click confirm, and away you go. It's essentially that simple, guys. So it's a case of build what you can, research what you can when your purple points continue to grow. Build what you want as and when you've researched them and you've got enough cash to do it, and then just keep building and building. Make sure you've got enough people, very very important, make sure you've got enough people working in all the relevant sections. Right, I'm going to show you now how to use your cargo hold. So we'll go to the bio deck here. So go to your bio deck by pressing up on the D-pad, click square on a plant and then harvest it. See there, square, then harvest, square, then harvest. Pick these up by clicking on the X button, and then let's go back to the main deck, find your cargo hold, click left 1 and X, find them there, move along to them, and then just click X and pop them in there. You see what's happening there? It's going, they're all going to put in the cargo hold. Now, people employed in the biodome will do that for you, but they just don't work as fast as you. If you're wanting to put things in the cargo hold fairly quickly that you might need, and I'll show you why you might need that in a bit, then you can do it yourself if you like. Right, so back in the build menu, as we have unlocked the factory now, and the factory is an important building that you're going to need as you progress through the game, because it will essentially build components that you will need to build other things in the game, and we will get onto that a little bit later. So yeah, we shall place the factory about there, I think, and we'll come back later and we'll show you how to use the factory. Right, so next, as you can see here, you see the red parts on the map? This shows you how the atmosphere filters are important. So it shows you with a circle that goes around it the area that is affected by the atmosphere filter. So we'll put that in there, and once that is built it will improve the atmosphere. Security station has been unlocked next with the purple points that have built up. Now you need a security station to fight the criminal element on your space station. There are drones that will go out and arrest people. You can also unlock a brig later on, which is where you rehabilitate criminals. Once a security station has been built, as you can see here, you need to employ people once again to work in the security station, and it will give you an indication in the text as to who is best suited for that. And again, as I've mentioned before, employ about 4 or 5 people, or as many as you would like to work in that centre. Excuse me. We're back on the fun deck now, and we're going to build the arcade. Again, remembering that the arrows point to the entrance. Position it where you want. Obviously you don't need to position any of these buildings in the way I've positioned them. You can position them exactly how you want. Once you're happy with the position, confirm it. And once you get more used to the game, you can build your own versions of these. You don't have to follow the blueprints for these rooms. It's just very, very easy early on. Now, if you click the left one and the square button, and then the left one and the right one, it takes you to different menus. And this is more of the decorative side of the things you can build. Each deck has them. As you can see here, we're back on the security station. One thing you can do on the security station is you can build giant mechs to defend your station. So we shall build a space raptor, but if you see there, I'll show you again. Okay, we don't have the right components to build that mech yet. I'll show you what components you need. You see down there at the bottom there, the 2 red things we don't have circuitry, and we don't have, is it plastic? I think it's plastic. So we don't have enough resources to do that. So this is where your factory that we built earlier comes into play. You go to your factory, move along with the D-pad to find the things you can build in your factory. So we needed plastic. We'll build some plastics. Yeah. And some circuit boards, and you let the factory do its thing. It will build them eventually. Sometimes it might not have all the resources it needs in the factory to build it. However, that's when you go to your biome. They will eventually find the resources you need in the biome and take it to the factory. Once you've got all the resources, it will start building your mech automatically, and then you will have a giant mech to go along with your drones to help defend your base. Now you see we've got a mech. Now we've got a new menu to go to, and it is the left one circle menu, which is your combat menu. So it's left one circle, you've got a combat menu here. Press triangle, it'll show you your controls in the combat menu. Shows you which controls you need to move, to choose all your units. Yeah. So choose all units and then click square to move them, and the controls are right there. So it's left one circle for the combat menu, press triangle to bring up the controls, and then you can experiment with the controls in the combat menu. And these are in case your base gets boarded or attacked by enemies. Right, we're back on the fun deck. Now I'm showing you this now because, as you can see, my arcade has no power. So you're going to need one of these energy things here. As you can see the circle there, it connects to the other section. Once that is built, that will give you power on your arcade. So that's how you generate power throughout your decks. So you just keep doing this, guys. You keep building things, you keep unlocking things in the research menu. Always make sure that you employ people to work on in the places that you build, and you can promote them as well as you go on. But other than that, it is really that simple, and that this will help you get used to the game, get used to the mechanics of the game early on. And I do really hope that you found this very beginner's guide very useful. Thanks for watching.